Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking off the wheels and using Gyeon Rim EVO ceramic coat. Before we do the ceramic coating, we are using iron remover to get off all of the hard brake dust out of the wheel. And this is the final product after 4 passes of iron remover and 2 passes of the Gyeon EVO ceramic coating. So that stuff came out amazing. It looks great on matte wheels, and this really applies to any wheel. So you can use this process on any wheel. But right here, we're just using the iron remover, and you can see how badly it turns purple, which means that it's taking iron out of the surface. The instructions say to agitate it, so that's what I'm doing here. And we're rinsing it off, but check out how much dirt came out in the background right there. And again, I did 4 passes of that on each wheel. All right, guys, we got everything clean as I'm gonna get it. At the end of the day, it's a truck. If it was a car, I would spend more time and really make it perfect, but I'm not gonna make these perfect. It's just gonna take way too much time. I think I've got them about 85% clean, in my opinion. Way inside this bead lock is dirty, but that's just gonna be impossible to get because the bolts are going through. I'll make another video on these TE bead locks later on. I do have a 5th wheel spare that I could do that on, but right now we're gonna focus on the Gyeon coating. So we've got the EVO Rim ceramic coat. It says make sure that it's between 59 degrees and 77. Today it's 73, so I'm good. Do not apply in direct sunlight. Do not apply if it's going to rain within the next 24 hours. They advise you to clean it with iron remover, which is what I did. Tar cleaner, if you got a bunch of tar buildup, which I did a little bit, but I feel like it started being too aggressive in the barrel, so I stopped. I just did it on one wheel. And then they say to clay bar it as well. I just feel like this finish from Volk is a little sensitive, and I don't want to do that. So if I ceramic coat it with a little bit of impurities, I'm okay. I'd rather do that than have like a faded spot missing some paint. So we're just gonna leave it alone. We're going to apply the coating, and actually we got to shake very well, apply a thick layer, and then wipe off immediately after application. So we're going to do 2 or 3 layers. I'll record 1 layer, and then we're gonna just do the rest off camera because, like I said, it takes too much time to set up the camera and record all that stuff. So we'll go ahead and open this guy up. We'll shake it very well, and they give you a little bit of applicators inside of here. Now these wheels and tires, they weigh about 100 pounds a piece. So I am not picking this thing up and putting it on the table. We're gonna go ahead and just do it right here. And just so you know, this is the first time I've ever applied ceramic. We've done my truck a few times, but my friends come over and done it. That's a pro at that stuff. So we are going into this one a little bit blind, but it's just wheels at the end of the day. As long as I don't screw the finish up, it's gonna be fine. And always, always, always hold this and do not drop it. When you put it down, make sure it's in a spot where you can see it. So, great, I just dropped one. They give you 4 of these. It's gonna be 1 per wheel in my opinion. And what the instructions say to do is to hold it like this. Put a few drops. And then we'll spread it out. So obviously this little towel is going to be super dry, so I'm going to layer it up again. But you could already see that it's bringing that dullness to life. Oh, that looks good. That is definitely covering up a lot of stuff that I was worried about. And with this being the barrel, I don't really need to worry about it getting buffed out super fast. The face is the one that I want to make sure it's perfect. We'll go ahead and just wipe down the barrel, but I do need to do the back of the spokes. And if you've never applied ceramic, the whole idea behind wiping it down is you're evening out the layer. So you're buffing it out and you're flattening it so it's all relatively one sized smooth layer all the way around. If you don't wipe it off, then you'll have high spots in areas like, let's say where I just put it on and I put it down. That'll be a high spot compared to everything else. So let's go ahead and put some more and we'll do the back of the spokes. Now this black part right here is actually really soft, so it forms around everything. So it's actually really easy to use. So here we've got before and after 2 coats. Check it out, it looks beautiful. And this is after cleaning multiple times. I did 4 passes of iron remover on every wheel, front and back, and it was still looking like this, but the ceramic coat got it looking beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this wheel around right here and do the face, and then we'll go ahead and tackle all 4. As I went ahead and I laid this one down just so I could kind of go around and make sure everything's good without needing to roll it. And just to be safe, we're gonna flip it around so the face has a nice part of the applicator ready to go. Give it another shake. And we'll layer it up. All right, so now that everything's on nice and heavy, we're gonna go ahead and buff it out with the microfiber, and we're evening out the layer. And this is the first layer of 2. Man, this is looking so good. I was definitely neglecting these bad boys a little bit, but I've had them on the truck since 2021. When things get a little bit old, you kind of get into this bad habit of not taking care of them as much, but when they were brand new, I was all over it. Here's one wheel that has not been coated at all. It is still just the way it was after the iron remover and a wash. And here is a wheel with 2 coats. So check out how vibrant that black looks compared to here. So non-coated, 2 coats, just looks beautiful. It looks deep and it's nice and even. So on a matte wheel, to me, that is amazing. So you can see the difference right here. So now all I have to do is the other 3, and then we can deflate them, do the beadlock retorque, and put them back on. This is the last wheel right here, and it's all looking super good. I used maybe about just a bit over a quarter, definitely not half, but this is the 30 mil, so that was pretty generous. 2 coats on 4 wheels. So take that for what it is, and use that info for your project. But right now we're gonna go ahead and get these things reinstalled on the truck. and then I will torque them down, and we will do a beadlock retorque tomorrow because I'm running out of time today, but we can do that with the tires on the truck, no problem. All right guys, it's been a few days since the last clip, and like I mentioned before, we went ahead and ceramic coated the wheels, rotated the tires, and I put them back on and torqued it down just so I could park the truck. But what I like to do every tire rotation and at the same time as an oil change is retorque the beadlock bolts. So at a minimum of once a year, but twice a year is preferred. Now, this truck's hardly driven, so I'm not putting too many miles on it, but when you re-torque your beadlocks, you need to completely deflate them. So we're gonna take the cores out of these things, and then we're gonna get the torque wrench and just go all around and tighten up any bolts that happen to work their way loose. Now, these things aren't gonna be super loose, but you'll find a few that'll twist here and there. At least that's been my experience with the OMF beadlocks. Now the front, I'm gonna have to jack it up a little bit so that there's some support under the truck, but I'm gonna leave it where the tire's just barely touching the ground, so when I torque the bolt, it doesn't spin. It's better to have these off the truck and do it on the ground, but I ran out of time that day, and I've done this method before and it's fine. So as long as the majority of the tire is suspended with the support of the jack, you're not gonna have any issues. In the rear, since we have an e-brake, I'm just gonna jack up the diff a little bit so the tires get off the ground, and we'll go ahead and do that as well. So I did put an air chuck on these things just to see where the PSI was at, and they're all over the place. The two front ones are like at 28, one rear one's 31, one's 25. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this thing up to 32 PSI on all four tires. That's just my preferred PSI on this truck based off my experience, and we'll wrap up this video. All right, we are fully aired down. We've got the torque wrench and we've got the OMF instructions. So the final torque spec on all the bolts is gonna be between 20 and 22. I do 21. Now, originally, you're supposed to do a crisscross pattern all the way around. That is mainly to seat the beadlock ring, but since it's already pretty much torqued, I'm not gonna waste time doing that whole procedure again and try to track how many bolts I torqued. I'm gonna start at the valve stem and just go all the way around. So people could have their own opinions on it, but again, it's worked for me plenty of times.
These are barely turning.
All right, that's it. We'll go ahead and put the Schrader valve back in. And it's always good to have a few of these Schrader valves on hand as spares. Sometimes the little sealing O-ring goes bad inside. But this one's ready to get filled up. All right, we got these wheels looking as good as new. And speaking about looking as good as new, if you follow my social medias, you'll see what I use to clean my frame with. I went ahead and sprayed this Maxima SC1. This stuff is really, really cool. You spray it on, you let it sit a few minutes, and then you wipe it off with a towel so you kind of buff off the excess, and it looks fantastic. So we've got a ceramic coated truck, ceramic coated wheels, and the frame and the whole undercarriage looking factory fresh.